Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is the Top Delinquent chapter 41, and this one is titled Apartment Hunt. I like your confidence, Yin, but it is you who will be sitting in second place this time, he whispered back. Iida, quiet please, the homeroom teacher chided firmly. Oh shit, Iida just got told by the teacher, he thought smugly. Poor Iida looked most embarrassed and apologised quickly before hanging his head in shame. Looks like we're evening out a little. I'm trying not to swear, and I think this might be the first time he's ever gotten in trouble at school. News of you and Iida dating spread through the school like wildfire, and no doubt the teachers had been whispering about it in the staff room, so by the time it came time to see Mrs. Craig at the end of the day, she already had a knowing smirk on her face, giving you both a sly look as you entered the room. "What's up, G?" you greeted her as you plopped down in the chair, but didn't spread out like you usually did. "Good afternoon, Principal Craig," Iida greeted, placing his good hand by his side and bowing to her before sitting. "I hear there have been some developments in the rehabilitation program between both parties," Mrs. Craig said as she leered at you both over her glasses perched on top of her nose. "Yes, Principal Craig, I am proud to announce that Yin and I are officially dating," Iida announced proudly. "Do we get a gold star?" you said with a smirk to the principal. "Well, I, for one, am happy to hear this," she said in a restrained, matter-of-fact voice, trying not to show too much excitement. "Iida, I assume that Miss Yin has been diligent with her help to you, although I did hear that there were some court matters that needed urgent attention." "Everything has been taken care of," Iida said professionally. "Yin has done well to bear the weight of such heavy emotional pain." "I'm right here," you monotoned, raising your hand. "I can leave if you all want to talk about me behind my back." "My apologies, Yin," Iida said quickly, and reached out for your arm to place his hand on it. "I meant no harm." "It's fine," you said with a half smile. "I was kind of joking, but whatever." "As for the rehabilitation program," Mrs. Craig said, catching your attention again, "although it is a little short of the actual end date, I would like to sign it off as a success." "Hey! Oh, gee!" you cajoled loudly, leaning forward with your fist out to bump hers. "Much appreciated," Iida said with a bow. Mrs. Craig awkwardly leaned forward and pressed her knuckles to yours gently, not really sure if she should be fist-bumping you or not. "We cool," you said as you slumped back in your chair. "Now, if we're done here, I need to go and start looking for a place to stay." "You need accommodation?" Mrs. Craig asked curiously. You'd forgotten that she didn't know everything revolving around the court case, and you had just put your foot in it. I'm getting a place on my own because I want to," you said, glancing at Iida. "Somewhere close to school." "Would an apartment or studio work for you?" Mrs. Craig asked. "Yeah, I guess. Because the block of units the next street over are nice. They're relatively new and have a few single apartment studios up for sale or rent," she said helpfully. "Yeah, sounds good," you shrugged, looking across at Iida. "We'll check it out." Iida nodded and stood up from his chair, then offered you his hand to help you up. "Thank you ever so kindly, Principal Craig," he said with another bow. "Yeah, thanks," you said with a smile. "Guess I won't be seeing you much because I won't be in here as often," you added. "Not necessarily a bad thing, Yin," Mrs. Craig said with a lopsided grin. "Be good, you two," she added, watching as you left the room. No sooner had you walked out, Bethany, the receptionist, stepped in. "Is it true? Is it true? Are they dating?" she hissed with excitement, quickly closing the door behind herself and running to the window to peek out between the slanted blinds. "My ship has sailed," Mrs. Craig said proudly. "Oh, God, it was so hard not to scream in their faces when they confirmed it," she said, fanning herself. "I would have snapped a pen," Bethany said as she looked back over her shoulder at Mrs. Craig. "Yin has already simmered down so much. I do wish them all the best," the principal said as she stood up and handed some papers to Bethany. "Do excuse me, Bethany, I need to head home early in case I have new neighbours." "Oh, okay, not a problem," Bethany said, taking the papers and watching Mrs. Craig leave. "See you tomorrow," the older principal called as she left. "Hey, do you want to go and have a look at these apartments nearby?" you asked Iida once you both got your things from your lockers. "Yes, of course," he replied. "Not because I want you to leave the family house, but because I want you to be happy." "Stop being nice." "It is my job as your boyfriend." Boyfriends don't have job descriptions, he replied as he took his outstretched hand. This boyfriend does, he replied, in a far too serious voice for the current situation, as he pushed his glasses up onto his nose. Okay, calm down. You don't need to hurt anyone, he laughed. Let's just take a quick look and then we'll head to yours. Is it going to be another 5-course meal? Because I don't know if I can handle another one of those. I can ask the chef to make it a 4-course instead. Why not just one, you deadpan? Like commoners, just one freaking meal. Easy. One meal? Iida asked with a befuddled look on his face. Why would... Okay, you know what? 4's fine. Whatever. Iida nodded, and you both headed out of the gates and down towards the apartments. Our personal builder worked on these, Iida said casually as you approached the 8-story complex. That is literally the most rich person thing I've ever heard, you said with a shake of your head. Like, I feel so poor standing next to you. Yin, you have over $200,000 in your account, Iida said as he looked at you confused. Frig. I mean, well, okay, yeah, that's, I totally forgot about that. That's going to take some time getting used to, he said with a laugh. And there ends chapter 41. Stay tuned for chapter 42 coming tomorrow.